is no code clarity. Just gonna do a brief talk in reference to what no code clarity is, a little bit of my background, as well as what is Web3, ultimately how no code clarity became from my first company, Perceptform, why we're building on stacks, what is clarity, the opportunity with no code, as well as no code clarity, and some visuals regarding brief tutorials. And if there are any questions, happy to take those. But my story really began in a city called Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in the United States. This is a glimpse of the city downtown. It is different now. So the skyline looks completely different. The Milwaukee Bucks arena has been built, and hotels and apartments and things of that nature. But this is a photograph that I took when I first started in my professional journey as an entrepreneur. It wasn't actually in tech, it was in art. So fine art photography, spoken word, that was really my way, partly because of the environment that I grew up in. A very volatile environment, gunshots every night, and had aspects of a broken home. But I was around so much at that age where my mother's a Christian evangelist, my dad was a drug dealer. I was between two homes. And it often felt like I was looking at the world from one side, but not really able to access it. So that really stuck with me and gave me a desire for more ultimately. And this is where in 2015, when I discovered Bitcoin, it really changed my life. And we now hear these terms Web3 and whatnot, but we really have to understand what they mean. When the internet was first created, it was created under the pathway of those who could publish things on the internet, and there were very few. And these people would generally publish academic papers and things like that. And then the next iteration of the internet was not just read, but it was read and write. So we're currently living in that space now where we can read information, but we can also post our own information. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, but who owns that information? It's generally other companies. And this is where the power of Web3 really comes at a head, because not only can we read and write, but we can actually own the experience. We can own our data. And this is where the concept of my company was born. Ultimately, Perceptform wants to make crypto real for everyone within these four verticals: finance, education, art, and real estate. And from these aspects, we began to build. So with the finance, we wanted to create a crypto debit card. From the educational standpoint, we wanted to educate 1 million people within a short amount of time, leveraging short form and long form video content. From the standpoint of art, since that's kind of my professional background, working with artists and museums and galleries, I wanted to expose them to blockchain technology by way of NFTs. And then finally, from the standpoint of real estate, I wanted to share with them that it's possible to tokenize real estate or place real estate on the blockchain, fractionalize it, create tokens, raise, and then develop. So these were the four verticals of my company where we would have initiatives, we would roll them out, we would put teams around them, and then we would make it happen. And this company was founded in 2020. And then I discovered Stacks. Stacks really changed the game for me as well as my company. And just a brief blurb about Stacks: it's an open source blockchain network that leverages the security and capital of Bitcoin for decentralized apps and smart contracts. It's built on Bitcoin. It has its own smart contract language called Clarity, and it has its own consensus mechanism. So most people are aware that with Bitcoin, there's the ability to mine it, and that's through proof of work. And then there are other proof aspects. So with Ethereum, they're proof of stake or transitioning to proof of stake. With Solana, there's a different type of proof mechanism. Stacks is the world's first that operates under proof of transfer. that allows for this really cool thing within its protocol called stacking. So, if someone is interested in learning more about stacks, I would highly encourage them to visit stacks.co. Or if they're watching this on the desktop and have a mobile device, simply scan this QR code, it'll take you right there. But at a little bit more higher level, regarding stacks, it's a layer one blockchain. So think of it in the aspect of Bitcoin is a base layer that it's connected to, and stacks is built on top of it. And it's a network of decentralized applications. So anything that's built with stacks inherits the properties of Bitcoin, its security, all of those different pieces. And it's also an open network. And I want to lean a little bit into clarity as well before I talk about no code clarity. Clarity is smart contracts for Bitcoin. And you can scan the QR code or go to clarity-lang.org to learn more about it. But at a high level, really quickly, Clarity is a novel language that brings smart contracts to Bitcoin, and it's designed to prevent the many bugs and exploits prevalent today. And we'll touch on that a little bit. But the cool thing about Clarity as a smart contract language is it's predictable, it's decidable, it's secure, and it has its security also connected to Bitcoin. So if we were to compare two smart contract languages, one, the ever famous Solidity by way of Ethereum, we see that there is a complete difference here. There's 1% of smart contracts that have source code available. 99% of smart contracts require users to trust developers. So, what we often say in our community is, would you ever sign a contract that you couldn't read? Most of us would say no. But anytime people interact with Ethereum smart contracts by way of Solidity, most of the time they're connecting to websites where they can't see the code or they can't understand the code in an easy way. So they're ultimately signing transactions or signing messages like signing a contract that they can't read. But with Clarity, you have 100% of smart contracts that have source code, and it's truly trustless for the end user. Why? Because it's readable. You can go to the Explorer and you're going to be able to read the smart contracts, read through post conditions, read through all of these things in plain language, which is huge. And it's also connected to Bitcoin. And this is where the opportunity for no code really came. So, exploring the options of no code as a tool for my first company, Perceptform, I discovered that there was a huge opportunity within Web3 in general. Just really quick, high level 4 points: ease, cost, speed, and growth. So there's a statistic that came out from Red Hat saying that no code development cuts development time by 90%, which is huge, allowing people to scale quickly if they're programmers or allowing for non technical people to create MVPs. The industry is projected to be worth well over $20 billion by next year. And it also allows for better collaboration on projects as well as quick pivoting. And this is where the idea of no code clarity came from myself and my CTO and co founder, Sergio Gongora. So, as founders of Color, me being based in North Carolina, him being based in Mexico, we saw a few different reasons why this is powerful. One, it allows for us to create bridges where none exist currently. We are the only company that is building in the no code space regarding building on Bitcoin. We're creating that tool infrastructure, we're creating that template infrastructure. And then on top of that, we're also doing a lot of educational initiatives, some of which are going to be rolling out later this year because education is paramount. But it's funny because we're teaching technical people about what is no code while we're teaching most of the world in reference to, well, what is this concept of building on Bitcoin? So it's almost like this double education component. And on top of that, we want to make sure that we reach out to communities that look like us, because we understand the statistics where Black and Brown founders, or Black and Brown communities often are left behind or are in the process of being left behind. So this no code technology is going to allow for people to leapfrog from idea to development, because with no code, it's visual, it's drag and drop. You still have to think like a programmer, but with a little time, you're going to be able to catch on to it. So we're really excited about what's coming with No Code Clarity. And this is the intro. And again, please feel free, scan the QR code. It'll take you directly to where these videos live, which is currently on YouTube. And this is an introduction into No Code Clarity. And I'm going to turn this up a little bit so the quality is as high as it can be.
We created the world's first Stacks no-code plugin on Bubble, which as of today boasts over 2 million users on its platform. So now over 2 million people can be exposed to the Stacks blockchain and how it is amazing regarding unlocking Bitcoin. What we have here is the test demo page where people are able to see examples of what is possible with the Stacks no-code plugin. What we also have is the ability for people to understand how to use this plugin, as with the click of a button, you're able to go directly to the instruction page by clicking how to use it. But now what we're going to do is we're going to lift the hood and we're going to go behind the veil. And we're going to show you what makes this plugin tick. What we're going to do is we're going to hit preview. Anytime a person is creating an app on Bubble, they are going to be able to use free plugins or paid plugins. If you use paid plugins, that's going to require a paid plan. If you're using free plugins, you don't have to necessarily pay. If you want customizing capability, such as creating your own domain name and having it sent to your Bubble app, that's where you would need a subscription. But for No Code Clarity, we decided, due to the support of the Stacks Foundation, we were going to make this plugin available for free. Now what we have here is our debugger, where we can click preview in our app, as I just showed right here. But what we have down here is something that will inspect and show us every single element, from text to inputs, to buttons, to groups. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go step by step. I can just type in a few words. And I'm saying test, test, test because one, I'm never going to use this wallet. For two, never ever reveal your password to your wallets. And then three, this is literally just to show you how the application works, interacting with the plugin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the workflows. Workflows are how the Bubble platform moves concerning app development. We don't code by way of programming, but we code by way of logic. So when someone types an input in, that's going to be recognized as password or input password sign-up's value. As long as this value is not empty, when this button is clicked, then it is going to trigger an event that's native to the plugin where sign-up-wallet takes place. And if I were to run next, it's going to show me a custom state regarding how the value is populated. So now I see that my secret key for this wallet that I'm never going to use is right here. And then it also shows the wallet root key, the value by way of the principal. Principal is just a specific kind of address. When you're testing Clarity, You have test addresses that look like ST, but a real mainnet Stacks wallet address is always going to have SP and then characters after that are letters and numbers. So by me doing this, I'm able to showcase that I can create, simply using this plugin, I can create a hero wallet, and it's going to show me my secret key. Now, if I wanted to, I could take this secret key, I could store it, I can do whatever it is that I need to do. But now what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to refresh. So now what I'm going to do is just show what's possible. It's very important for everyone who's watching this to understand. We never put secret keys in browsers. This is literally just an example where people were able to test what was possible. So the secret key that I created for this wallet that I will never use, I input here. I can also input this here. And I can type in my password. So once button login is clicked, then it's going to trigger an event called login-wallet. That then is going to say the password has been typed in, the secret key has been inputted, and again, this is just for an example for anyone who's going to use this plugin. Think of UI and UX and workflows that will keep users safe so that they do not have to enter in their secret key. That's very important. This is just to show what's possible. All of these things are going to trigger this event, login-wallet, only when input password's value is not empty and input secret keys value is not empty. So once it recognizes that a password and the secret key has been inputted, then and only then will it allow for the next component of this, which means, as you can see at the top bar, it is logging me in to a functional wallet, which I can see populating in a moment, which it just did. If I would like to, I can go down here and I can click generate. And when I click generate, it's going to do so only when input secret keys value is not empty and input passwords value is not empty. So in this space, on this page, I was able to create a test wallet that I could utilize on the mainnet with a real secret key and a real password. Me clicking generate only means something because I'm logged in. So now it's going to trigger generate account into wallet by way of the secret key and the password. So now it generated a brand new wallet that is connected to the same secret key and the same password.
And that is an intro to the plugin. So all of that considered, there was no technical programming that took place to make that plugin actively work. And we saw step by step what it looks like to make that plugin do something within an application. Now we're going to take it a step further, and we are going to explore the back end of the plugin and how it makes it tick. We're just going to boost up the quality here.
This is all designed in Bubble. So we have the UI builder, and then there's a responsive component. We can get into that later, or you can do your research on Bubble. You have the design elements You have the workflows themselves. You have data. So the databases, you can create the type of fields. You can make it a private app, public app, option sets, as well as file management, the logo, instructions, all of those different components natively in here. We can have styles. So if we, from a branding standpoint, have a specific set of things that we're going to continuously use, why reinvent the wheel? We're going to do it once, we're going to copy, repeat. And then the aspect of installing plugins, and that's where this comes into play. And all of this is available for free. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a step back. We're going to go into the workflows. So anytime a person wants to authenticate, this is an event within the workflows. Anytime a person wants to authenticate, it's going to have the key request be made on the index of the home page. And that element is stacks A, or authenticate. This is something that was created natively for this particular page. Once that happens, then pop-up simulation will take place. We can see what that looks like if we were to go in the design section, or I could just simply hover over, and it's going to show various visual elements. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. And then it's going to continue on by way of the login simulation, authentication, and the mechanisms by which authentication takes place, which is the password and the secret key value. Then it's going to set a state for this to take place on the home page with the index. So the custom state is transit key, and that's a result of step 2. So the value in step 2 is going to transfer to step 3. Then the authentication request will take place because of the component of step 2. So we're thinking like a programmer, we're thinking like we're coding, but we're not actually coding. And then when the button generate is clicked and the input secret keys value is not empty and the input passwords value is not empty, it is going to generate by way of confirming that this is there. And it's going to set the state of the account on the index. So natively within the application itself. And it's going to go to a custom state known as account. So all of the information is going to stay within the account. Then the accounts list, it's going to have that other address that was generated connected by way of the account to the accounts list. When a button login is clicked, it's only going to work when the password and the secret key value is not empty. Then the state is going to be set where the secret key, the accounts list, as well as the wallet root key are going to be able to authenticate by way of being able to log in. All because of the result of step 1. The values have been input. So again, considering that we just had the secret key component and the password component available to show what was possible, this shows that you can design this in a way where the secret key doesn't necessarily have to be inputted and made visible. Just like with the Hero wallet, you type it in once and then you're able to access. All you have to do is just confirm. So there are ways where all of this can be structured. If we wanted to make a contract deploy, all we would have to do is simply make sure the password value is not empty. Then make sure the secret keys value is not empty. Input the contract name and the code body file. Then it's going to broadcast only because of step one. Moving forward, if we wanted to make standard stacks post-condition, as long as the secret key's value and the password's value is not empty, that means that as long as the secret key and as long as the password is, in this iteration, placed in, as well as the post-condition address, the amount, contract address, contract name, function, as well as the function name, then it's going to do the broadcast piece. So when you're utilizing this plugin, you're going to have to set a lot of states, and those states are going to be custom named based on what it is that you're trying to do. So for us, we created custom state for accounts, authentication requests, secret key, transit key, user data, user status, wallet root key, and of course the broadcast response, which is the most important if you're deploying or interacting with Clarity smart contracts. When the button send is clicked, then that means the memo, the amount converted to a number, the recipient's value or the recipient's wallet address, the secret key, as well as the password's value is inputted only when index wallet root key is not empty. Meaning this has to be conducted when someone is signed in. And then it's going to broadcast based off of step one, all of those components being in. And then we have the sign up piece. As long as the password's value is not empty, the person is going to be able to sign up and create a wallet simply by typing in a password. And then the set state is going to be secret key is going to be created, and then the wallet root key aspect, the account, and then the account is going to be added to the accounts list if it already had an account. And then of course the how to use it, that element is going to be a link. And that's it. So from the standpoint of what's going on under the hood and what you see here, everything has been done with Bubble. We'll have more in-depth tutorials to come. Stay tuned. It's going to get real.
And that is that. So regarding the setup, it's very simple, very short video, and then I will give a sneak peek at what is coming. So really short video for those who are interested in trying out the plugin. And please know that with the plugin, there's going to be some new things that are coming out as of this month. But it all starts with you signing up first with Bubble, and there's more to come. So just one moment, please. Make sure the quality is good. And here we go.
Hello, my name is Christopher Prescriptions, and I'm the CEO of NocodeClarity. I'm so excited to begin tutorials as it relates to Stacks no-code plugin world's first. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by logging in. If you do not have a login, of course, you have to set up an account. So as I log in, it's going to take me to home page. And this home page is going to house a few different things. It's going to house plugins if I have any, templates if I've purchased or downloaded any, as well as my apps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click new app. I'm going to type in the name of the app. I could start from a template if I want to, but I'm just going to do this one very fast and way. And I'm going to say other. I don't necessarily know what I want to do. So yeah, could do details. I'm going to say that this is external or customer facing. And the goal is just playing around. So I'm going to hit create that. I could go through this assistant piece, but I'm going to close that. I'm going to hit plugins over here. I'm going to add plugins. And I'm going to just type in stacks. And then I see here that stacks is Now, this program, I'm going to hit install. The fact that it's free allows for me to install this in my free application. As you see here, there are paid plugins that are only able to be used with paid plans. So when I'm done, and I'm able to monitor any sort of updates to make sure that my app is constantly up to date, I can go to the plugin page if I would like to present it in the marketplace. It's going to tell us a few bits of information like details, categories, instructions, or docs. Now we're going to get back to this. If I want to, I could go up here. I can add a new page, title it. I can clone it from an existing page or just create a new page. So I'm going to create a new page and my app is being made. So now I have this really cool Stacks visual elements piece here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click it, drag it. Now what appears are these different components of this element. If I go to workflow, I can create a workflow for this. So it could be a custom event, it could be when the user's logged in, it could be seconds. This is the logic of code. But what I want to do is I'm going to create a custom event. The name is Stacks. Create whatever if I would like to, but I'm just going to leave it as such. I'm going to click to create an action, and then see here is plugins. This is where I'm able to generate account into wallet, log into wallet, sign up wallet, enforcement, contract, function calls, transactions. If I were to do a transaction, I would do these pieces, and we'll go over those in the next tutorial. Right? Stay tuned. More at NocodeClarity.com. Thank you so much for your time.
And all of these videos, as you can see here, are live on YouTube. And here is the last video. It's going to be a sneak peek of what is coming and what is almost done. Almost done in the sense of published. So really quick background. If you interact within the Stacks ecosystem, there are a few wallets. There's a mobile wallet called Xverse that you can download from the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, Android. And then for desktop users or laptop users, there is the Hero wallet. And it's really the main stable within the Stacks ecosystem as a wallet. So when we were building out NocodeClarity, it was imperative for us to pay homage to Hero and all of the work that they've done, trailblazing, but also for people who have Hero wallets, how are they going to be able to connect? We now are in the process of finalizing the details for a no-code Stacks wallet that can connect to the Hero wallet. And this is a short piece on that. And when I say short, I mean 1 minute and 33 seconds short. Boosting up the quality, and here we go.
Hello, Christopher Perceptions here, co-founder and CEO of NocodeClarity, and we have an update. A short one, but powerful. Check it out. So, if you already have a Hero wallet, all you have to do is click here, and then you're going to see at the top left, there's some things happening in the background, right? And those things are moving towards connecting to your Hero wallet. And you see this pop-up happen here. I have all of these wallets that I can choose from. I'm going to choose the NocodeClarity wallet, of course. And then here we are. So now I'm able to see that a new account has been connected by way of me connecting to my Hero wallet. So this wallet is natively built in to the platform itself. So the website, the actual wallet, it's directly connected to it. But it's only accessible through my NocodeClarity wallet. So I could receive, I can send, and it's going to let me send as many stacks or as little stacks as I want. I would funder, of course. It's going to be ready very, very soon. Our goal is no later than July, like early July. But we're really pushing to get this done as soon as next week. So stay tuned. NocodeClarity.com.
And that is that. So, for anyone interested in learning more about No Code Clarity or staying in touch, please visit NocodeClarity.com, or you can scan the QR code. Follow us on Twitter at NocodeClarity. And for general inquiries, media, developers, etc., please visit us and reach out to us at contact@nocodeclarity.com. And that is my time. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you so much for your time. And I will quit sharing my screen.
Thank you so much for showcasing about no code clarity, and I'm very passionate about this project. And I'd say in the sense that not only it's not only limited for people with no developer or no developer experience, but it can also help developers to fast track maybe MVP. And it's something that I hope we'll be seeing people from our community to be able to build on and also contribute. I think that is all I'd say.
I feel the exact same way. And I think that there's so much potential to be had because, by and large, a lot of these no code platforms are already being utilized by most of the internet. Most people don't think of WordPress as a no code platform. Most people don't think of Airtable or Notion, Wix, Squarespace as no code platforms, but they are, even Shopify in many respects. So, what would it look like for blockchain tooling to be available for those platforms? Um, that's where the beauty of what it is that myself and Sergio are building. So we're really excited to try and enable leapfrogging for people from our community, from the diaspora, from all throughout Central and South America, etc., as well as people all over the world in general. What is it going to look like when there's no longer a talent gap? Because currently in Web3, there is a demand for talent. So if you are a technical person, there's a job for you in Web3. You may have to learn TypeScript, JavaScript, Git, command line, all of these different languages to then get one job. But if you're a founder or if you're a developer that wants to explore, and you want to still have some free time, No Code is going to be the platform for you to leverage. And No Code Clarity will be here helping you to have tooling and templates that are going to enable you to get started quicker. So that's what we're here for.
Awesome. That is great to hear. So I think I'll leave like a 1 minute window. If there is any question, you can see it on the comment section.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions if there are. If none arise currently, please feel free to reach out to us on Twitter at NocodeClarity, and we'll be happy to answer questions there as well.
say think there may be no questions for now. I think to also save on time, in case of any inquiry or any remarks, yeah, as Chris has mentioned, you can always contact them on Twitter. It's they're on Twitter at NocodeClarity. So I'd like to say thank you so much, Chris, for accepting my invite, and our community will always be open to learn more about stacks, about no code clarity, and we are also here to help in case of if you need any help with contributing to the plugin. And yeah, I believe by doing so, we'll take no code clarity and stacks to the next level. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll end the stream here. Thank you for those who have been able to join us. Thank you, Chris, and have a great day ahead.
You as well.